Well, they've been the two best teams in the NZRL Premiership for 2022. The red-hot Akarana Falcons, who have posted wins over Counties Manukau, and this one against the Waikato Mana last week by 68 points to 6. They put on a show. And then there's the Canterbury Bulls, who've taken out the same two sides to set up this grand final rehearsal. So will both teams find the rage today ahead of that title decider at North Harbour next week? Let's find out. Yes, welcome to Ngapunawai in Christchurch. There's a bit of drizzle in the hills for this match today. Round 3 of the NZRL Premiership between the Canterbury Bulls, the home team, and the Akarana Falcons. But the good news here at the down at the number 1 field here at Ngapunawai is we have dry and still conditions. Unlikely that we're going to get any of that drizzle drifting down from the Port Hills for this game today. Temperatures around 14, 15 degrees, so really ideal conditions for what should be a good game of rugby league between the two best teams of the competition. Yes, the Akarana Falcons come down to Christchurch, having beaten Counties Manukau by 32-20, Waikato 68-6. Canterbury wins over Waikato 42-12, Counties Manukau by 26-18. So similar score lines. Here is the Akarana team, and there's going to be debuts today this year for James Tomata on the wing from the Glenora Bears. Also, we go to see another new player as well coming off the interchange. That's Sean Tempest. And keep your eye too on number 21, Pat Vaivai, as well in the front row. He's a former NRL player with Newcastle and the Gold Coast Titans. Interesting selection too to see Francis Ledger wearing through, but playing at halfback in this game today. And the coach is Phil Gordon.
Coach, pretty convincing one last week, but how do you improve on that performance?
I think, there's still space in sort of the 1%ers of our games, especially, in that last sort of 20 minutes. We maybe could have been guilty about trying a few things that probably we should have just maybe stuck to some more structures and with the eye on continue to develop in our group and our plan as we move ahead.
Canterbury will offer something a little bit different today, but where do you think they're most dangerous?
Canterbury is a professional outfit, and their attitude towards the way they approach the game is professional, very well coached, good discipline side their fit. We have to be aware that it's an 80-minute battle today, and anything short probably, we might come up short.
I suppose, what do you want to see out of your lads today? Where's the focus going to be, being that, I suppose, going into this game you'll play them again in a week's time?
Yeah, I think it's just, consolidate combinations. We have a couple of boys injured today that aren't 100%. So, we've got some other guys coming in and filling in. So I guess it's about the depth of our squad and giving a couple more guys an opportunity to represent Akarana.
Good luck today, Coach.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There we are, the coach of the Akarana Falcons, Phil Gordon, with some interesting thoughts there. Let's have a look at the Canterbury Bulls lineup. We've got debutants today. 3 of them, number 5, Makarini Mohi, a player with plenty of experience in Queensland, originally from the Bay of Plenty. Number 7, Taniana Leka, comes in for his first game for Canterbury today. His brothers have played for Canterbury. And Jordan Wawatai, number 11, is debuting at hooker today. He plays for the Celebration Lions. A few absent players today: Dylan Hartley, Pinatito Ilalio, George Fa'aiva, and Zinzan Martin are all not playing today. And the coach, Jed Laurie.
Mate, she's a tough outfit, the Akarana side. Where do you get them today?
I think, they're big, they're strong. We've got to control that middle and not let them play the game they won and build pressure for long periods, and I think we can sort of get some points out of the back end of those efforts. What
do you want to see out of your boys today? Because, like I said, you probably play the side 2 weeks in a row.
I think every time you pull on a Bulls jersey, you wear it with pride, so it doesn't matter what's on the line today. It's about installing that pride in the jersey and showing what it means to us.
Yeah, where do you think they're most dangerous? I know you said they're big and strong, but I suppose where's the most threat going to come from in terms of Akarana?
I think you've got to sort of keep your eye on Francis. He's a smart footy player, and they've got some power and Chaz there, but you've got to control a couple of those starting props early.
Let's hope your team doesn't go as like the Rabbits last night, eh?
Oh, I'm just trying to keep warm out here.
Good luck today, Coach.
Cheers.
Jed Laurie has got a sense of humour. Well, Warangi Kopu with me. Kia ora, Wai.
Tēnā koe, Glenn, o tira tēnā ra tātou katoa, yeah, Waitaha mihi mai. It's a beautiful place down here in Waitaha, Ngāpuno o Ngā Wai to watch rugby league, or play rugby league as well. The pitch is always in pristine condition, and these two fine sides who will be looking to try and build some confidence going into next week, and maybe just beat their chests a little bit before the upcoming final in North Harbour. So look, I know both these teams are pretty worked up for this game. Looking at Akarana warming up behind us in the commentary booth today, they seem pretty fired up to put on a pretty good performance, and I know they won't be looking too far ahead, but should be a great competition between these two teams.
Yeah, it should be. And interesting couple of players coming in too as we see the officials come out too. Darren Hopewell is going to be refereeing the game today with assistance on the sidelines by Daryl Mataiti and Owen Harvey. Canterbury here in second place on the ladder. And just on points differential with Akarana leading at the moment. Counties and the Waikato just finishing in third and fourth respectively. So these two teams are going to meet in the final next week. Who will have the bragging rights heading into that final? Touched on the good, glorious conditions for this game here today. Absolutely perfect, not a breath of wind. As the referee gets play underway, so it's going to be Akarana with the first possession of this contest. And charging right into the defence straight off the bat, there's a great run. Coming in from Vasu Valangi, he absolutely loved it. Well, in fact, that was Vaivai, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pat Vaivai, yeah.
Wow.
Hell of a head up, but also one hell of a tackle as well by Fowler. And that's the way you want to meet aggression with aggression straight off the bat.
Well, Vaivai, of course, back into New Zealand after being in England and France for several seasons. And he is fired up. It's his first game for Akarana. Here he is again with his second carry as he thunders into number 9, Uriah Tuli. A player who's about 12 years younger than he is. McCowie into dummy half here. And there goes the kick from Akarana to end the first set.
Great contest. Good start. Good set defensively. Good set in attack from Akarana, although they give away a penalty. That's not how they wanted to end that set, but great defensive effort as well.
Oh, here's his first carry again, Vaivai. They met him with... Look at Tuli, he was in there, nice and strong, the young fella, still only 20 years of age. He didn't care, he put his body on the line, and here's Tofalau. Getting underway, again, a junior Kiwis player from 2016, Ken Tofalau. So let's see how expansive the Canterbury team are going to play this game as we see Chanel Fiala over the halfway line here. Didn't play last week against Counties Manukau, but he's in the starting lineup today after being on the interchange in week 1. Been impressed with Danny Samuelu Latu. He's got the ball right here, wearing 14 today. He had a great game against Counties Manukau on that left second row position last week. Afamasanga inside the 30. Timo Latu getting the call up to start the game. Late change there, number 12. Whoops. And there is more position coming here for Canterbury.
Canterbury's got a point to prove here. You can see straight away that they know how big and strong Akarana have been and how physically big and strong they are. They want to match that, particularly with their attitude today.
Well, you have to, don't you? The moment you sit back against players of this ilk, they're going to punish you. Slow play the ball here. Canterbury have an opportunity here. Here comes Fiala once again. Just a couple of metres out from the line here. Be good start for Canterbury if they can score a try here in the opening minutes of this contest. That's Wihongi. Nice cut out past the Tofalau. Oh, just slipping on the surface there. Created a couple of lovely tries for Ilalio last week, but he's not playing today. Big cut out pass. And here's an opportunity on the left flank. They're looking good, spreading it out as Pouli comes into the line now. Akarana had drifted nicely in defence. That little play back on the inside to Afamasanga. Last play now for the Bulls. Slow play the ball. It's a little clunky. Wihongi's dropped it, and that's a disappointing end to the set there, White.
Yeah, it was a bit of a messy play, the ball. I think he might have been trying to milk a penalty. It was the last tackle. There were people lying on the ruck, but yeah, a little bit yuck. And the dummy half pass off the back of it wasn't very good. So a pretty poor end to the set. A little cheap way to give away the ball. Let's see what they can do here in their defence to try and restrict some metres of Akarana.
Here's White with a good strong carry. What a season he's had for Point Chev. And he's looking very good in this team, Akarana team as well, as he earns his team a penalty there. Equally at home in the centres or in the back row, Matthew White.
Both teams just testing out our referee today, Darren Hopewell, and seeing how long they can get away with holding down.
So Vai again. Vasuvalangi, the starting props today. Plenty of grunt off the bench too with James Garvey and Joseph Price. Tamarua handles there, and here is Vasuvalangi. 3 tries he scored against Waikato last week, the front rower. Fast play the ball, Ledger. And now here is Halalilo. 20 metres out. Interesting to see Ledger playing halfback in this game today. With Aidan Ackland not playing today, Tamarua takes the carry. It's 20 metres out. Makaui at dummy half. Shifting it out to Vasuvalangi again. Last play now for the Falcons. And Makaui's going to haul it out to the right to Ledger. This is Chaz Brown. But he's well handled there. Chaz Brown, 3 players on him, and that's going to be a handover. So well done for the Bulls for holding out the Akarana Falcons there.
Yeah, good defensive set. Nice communication across the line.
So that's where the ladder is at the moment. The Falcons and the Bulls confirmed to play in the final next week up at North Harbour Stadium.
Akarana will just ease their way into their combinations. Obviously, CS Francis Ledger hasn't played in this position in this tournament before, so just getting timing in terms of back rowers and centres off the halfback. That's another piggyback for Canterbury Bulls out of their own half.
I think Ledger will love the opportunity to play in the halves. He'll relish the opportunity. Okay, it might be unfamiliar to him, but I think he'll handle it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he throws Chaz Brown a hospital pass at some stage.
Probably deliberate one too,
yeah.
eh? Oh, a little sloppy play the ball, but it's play on as Tooley is hit hard by White. Tooley's a tough customer in the second year of rep football at the senior level. And now Taniela Leka will take the tackle. Northern Bulldogs player here in Christchurch. Debuting today is Cyrus Timolatu, gets Chanel Fiala back into the action again. Timolatu at a dummy half. Now they're running it to Samuelu Latu. Now in this left centre position day, Eti Collins, and he's had it stripped out of his hands. More penalties coming here for Canterbury. I think that's their 3rd or 4th penalty.
Yeah, that one might have been a little bit harsh. Chaz Brown with his hand in there. He was sort of looking to try and finish off the tackle, but the ball got ripped free, so 50-51. But you cop that one on the chin and see how good Akarana's defence holds out here.
Well, they're certainly not struggling for ball, the home team, in these first few minutes. Can they make it count for something, though?
Good hit.
Oh.
Eddie Maynard.
Yeah, Maynard from the Point Chev Pirates, their player of the season this year, nailing that one. Here's Afa Masanga, looking for some space up the middle, almost finding it too. Fast play the ball, has Canterbury with an opportunity out to the left there. Samuelu Latu's taking Chaz Brown on and also Ledger, but they're up to the challenge there. But he's a big athletic player, is Danny Samuelu Latu, the co-captain. Timo Latu at dummy half, poor pass again from him. Didn't find the mark, nicely picked up by Afa Masanga. Akarana's defence has been solid so far, just like Canterbury's was at the other end of the field. Now Tooley, he's lost it, and this could work out here for Matthew White. Good chase back there from Jimmy Wihongi, good tackle from him. And White's lost it, penalty. Nice play from White there.
been pretty close to a sin bin. I suppose there wasn't much of a scoring opportunity, but still a bit of a professional foul in that case. But yeah, just execution in the end for Canterbury. They've got enough pill. The shape was really nice. It's just the balls aren't finding the hands.
So Maynard with the ball now. He's wearing 10, but playing in the second row on this left edge. Makawi at dummy half. Asuvalangi is going to pass it off this time. And carrying it strongly forward is Joseph Price. He's got an early boarding pass into the game now. He's on the field after 9 minutes. Makawi out this left side. Zensai Inu back to Vasuvalangi. So inside the 10. Canterbury's defence is under the question mark again as Price is going over to score the try. Just too much pace, and they didn't kind of move up on their left ruck side there. And Joseph Price goes over to score the opening try.
Yeah, first back-to-back sets for the Akarana Falcons, and they make Canterbury pay once again. Just individual size and strength. They work together in numbers, but ultimately there's just too much threat. See the big man, quick play of the ball. Canterbury just failing to get off the line quick enough. There you go, they're still backing up. There's the big man who just got on the field, Joseph Price, come running on. I'm just looking down at the Akarana Falcons bench now, and I think it might be Tamarua actually who's come off, Brody Tamarua. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
They're taking off one of his boots and socks at the moment, just having a look at one of his feet, so potentially something wrong with an ankle or
that'd be a big
metatarsal. Yeah, he's
good player.
Brody's been enormous. He was outstanding last week against Waikato. He looked like a big kid playing against a whole lot of under-8s. He was just throwing people off him and causing absolute havoc.
Well, not only that, he scored a try and kicked 10 goals last week as well. Brody Tamarua really had a good all-round game. So, but luckily for the Falcons, they've got two very good goal kickers, and the other one is lining up this conversion attempt here. This is Francis Ledger, who kicked 4 goals in the first game this season against Counties Manukau. And there is the successful conversion. So 6 points to 0. Akarana through that try for Joseph Price. Well, let's hope Tamarua, you mightn't have seen the end of him.
I suppose.
Well, the game next week, what do you do if you've coached Phil Gordon? You probably, if there's any slight niggle, you want to keep him back, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope that it's nothing too serious and that it can't recover in time for next week, because he is a massive part of the side.
Here's Whaiwhai again. They're all over him, aren't they? And Thule there to finish him off again, relishing the chance to load up on him. Now here's Harley Maynard, tough back rower. Didn't play the first game. Makawi in that dummy half. Nice urgency from Solomon Vasuvalangi again. Late offload too, and Uaka was right there, and he sneaked away, but in the end the knock-on's been called by referee Hope Will.
Yeah, low percentage offload. But if it had gone to hand, there was definitely an opportunity there. He snuck that ball out and around the back. Saw the opportunity. Just unfortunate that he couldn't pick it up there.
Isam Yoka at full-back again today. Ole Tuamavavi injuring his knee in that first round. So Yoka being moved from the centres to full-back now. Samuel Ulatu. Henley, and here comes Thule. Wearing 9 but playing in the back row. Forward pass has been ruled there, and a few players just having a little bit of a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon chat there. Yeah, just the timing there.
Yeah,
wasn't much, was it? Why?
Just slightly. You probably thought it was going out the back, but no one's saying in rugby league, there's no dummy runners in this game. Everybody needs to expect the ball.
It's inside Inu, wearing 16, playing at 5'8", another point share of Pirates player. They are stacked, that team, with plenty of good talent. Ledger going to play dummy half, but he's keeping it on the right flank this time. High tackle there. Perhaps. No, referee says he's happy with it. That was Halalilo. Vasuvalangi passing it to the try scorer Price. Right on the halfway line now. Akarana. Fast play the ball. Like it. Here they come again up the ruck. And it's Vasuvalangi. That ended up being a very good tackle by his opposite number there, Penalty. Look at this wave, though. This blue wave looking good. Maynard bounces out of that tackle effectively. Last play now for the Akarana Falcons, who have really stepped that up a gear. Lovely cutout pass there from dummy half to Ledger. Ledger seeing a big gap up the middle now. And looking for that offload. There's all sorts of hands over on it. Can you believe that? Almost a spectacular try there to James Taumata. But in the end, they're back to the 20.
Makareni Mohi for the Canterbury Bulls did a fantastic job. He was the only one out there, recognised the threat, and he just gave his opposite an opportunity to try and catch the ball before tackling him. And the rules are, if you're the defending player, you can actually tackle that player in the air.
Here's Makareni Mohi, who's on debut for Canterbury as well. First year playing league in Canterbury.
Yeah, Matthew White has come to the sideline as well with a bit of a shoulder issue that might have popped it.
Yes, he has. Another injury concern. He's a key player. What a year he's had this season. Now, there's appeals for a penalty again here on the play the ball, and they are going to be answered this time. Tip tackle there.
Yeah, Darren Hopewell, I think he just might have got a tip from one of his touchies because Vasu Valangi was standing in his way. Couldn't really see that tackle, so glad they picked it up. Yep.
Now, Matthew White now get a bit of an assessment here on that right shoulder of his. Our Canterbury bench looking edgy. So there is White there. Switched, came to Point Chev this season from Bay Roskell. And he looks like he's got a good career in front of him. Wow, I like him.
Yeah, indeed, he is. Fantastic.
Versatile,
yep.
Second row, back row, centre.
Classic centre.
Yep.
Reminds me of the Kevin Needle type.
Yep.
He's literally 2 metres from the sideline. He could just shuffle to the right a little bit, then we can carry on with his game.
Absolutely. And he's getting it.
Probably no point in risking him.
No, they do have centre cover on the bench today with Sean Tempest there from Bay Roskell Vikings.
Looks like they're putting James Gavay on.
Yeah, here comes Gavay. Not a bad replacement. Put him on.
Maybe Maynard goes to the centre.
Yeah.
This looks like it's happening, yeah.
Yeah, you're onto it. Okay, Canterbury. Restart play finally here off that penalty. Their co-captain penalty. Here's Fiala. Putting in a good stint in these first 15, 20 minutes. Timolatu sneaking away from dummy half. And it's gone backwards, so play on is the call. Wihongi, good little dab. Up behind the ruck that time. Takes him down to the 10-metre mark. So again, Canterbury have an opportunity, not for the first time in the game. Can they execute from close range again here? It's a nice angled cutback run there from Etty Collins. Let's see if they can cook up something to Samuel Ulatu again. He's getting close. He's there.
Powerful.
And that is a slam dunk try from Danny Samuel Ulatu. And Canterbury get the score. It's 6-4.
He's run that line a couple of times already in this game as the captain. Just dropped back on the inside. This time he just picked up the ball, changed directions and put on a little bit of pace. And he is a big man, the back rower. Take a look at it again. Little sidestep, got rid of Chaz Brown. Saw an opportunity back up in the middle, a couple of lazy defenders and a couple of woeful tackles, just fell off and too big for Yorker.
Yeah, there's a dent in the ground after he planted that one.
He's a solid human.
He does, yeah. So He was very good last week too, White. Key player on that left edge for the Bulls.
Some big boys out there. Just seen Josh Afamasaga come to the sideline for a bit of a stint. He's got a build on him as well.
He's a good neck. So here is the conversion attempt to lock the scores up. And that is a nice kick from Tani Alaleka. It's a 6-all.
Want to hear something funny, Glenn?
Oh, always, man.
Marin Heggie actually asked me to play for Waikato. I played for Tani Whare this year. Marin Heggie actually asked me to play for Waikato. I would have been on a stretcher about 5 minutes ago.
And when you told him that, what was his reaction?
He thought I was joking.
You should have said to him.
There's no chance in heck that I am playing at this level.
You should have said to him, I'll play if you play.
He probably would have played. If it hadn't been for, I think he did his Achilles earlier this year. I think if he hadn't have done that, he probably would have played.
Well, game on here, isn't it? So 20 minutes, about halfway through the first half, try each to both of these two teams. Couple of injury problems for the Akarana Falcons. Just disrupt their shape a little bit with White and Tamarua off the field. And the other thing about Tamarua is we see Phil Nati wind up here from the back fence off the interchange. The other thing about Tamarua is he's a ball-playing back rower too. He offers opportunities in that area of the game.
Indeed.
Although I just look out to my right here, he is warming up again,
he's
testing it.
Seeing him trying to jog it off a little bit.
So we'll see if he makes a reappearance in the game. But in the meantime, here comes Fiala, being impressed with him. He came off the interchange in round 1 against Waikato. Didn't play last week, so he's putting in a good stint here in these first few moments. Now Timo Latu sneaking out, gaining 10 metres. Out of dummy half, he's lost the ball. Penalty, it's a strip.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Halalilo there. Just went into the contact and you could clearly see the ball get raked loose. And I'm loving how Canterbury Bulls they're not intimidated at all by this Akarana side.
Now they're getting a good penalty count in favour of them as well. Now is that still in the field of play? Fetu's chasing down there and going all the way back to salvage it. Jeremiah Potu Ledger. So didn't find touch in the end that kick wide. That'll be disappointing for the Bulls.
Yeah, he's got a little flat kick. Doesn't go too high and batted back on the inside. I don't know, with the opportunity. Started off well from Yorker.
It did. Now Tomata comes off his wing for a carry. First game for him, played in the Fox Memorial Grand Final for Glenora. Now here's James Garvey, 15 metres. That's winding back the clock there with that run. Garvey looking for that penalty. Wasn't coming. Makoi's pass was flat at best. In the end, bit of indecision at the back here from Poli. But he has got the ball. The live wire fullback. But a good chase from Akarana.
Yeah, great. Oh.
Another penalty.
High shot. I was going to say, that was a great set by Akarana. That was 80 metres.
Chaz Brown not happy with that ruling. It's been ruled high by referee Hopewell. Penalty count heavily against Akarana in these first 20 minutes.
We are in Christchurch, my friend.
What are you saying? I'm saying that ball was kicked into the grandstand. There was no doubt about that one. Here's the try scorer, Samuelu Latu. Here's Phil Nati, a well-travelled player, of course. Huge experience in Australia and in France, playing rugby league, back home in Christchurch now. Here's Tuli, running straight at number 16, Sensai Inu. 15 metres out from halfway. And here is Penali. Good defence so far from Akarana in the set. Interchange player to Vaughan Thompson out there now for the Bulls. Second appearance of the season in rep football for him. Featured in round 1 against Waikato. Didn't play last week against Counties Manukau. There's the kick. Appeals for a late tackle there. And it's out on the full.
Oh, great pressure. Vasufalangi once again getting up, and he timed that really well. There wasn't any hint of any foul play in that one. So the extra work by the big man pays off. Akarana, Patarika Vaivai gets a bit of a rest, and on comes Tempest.
Yeah, Sean Tempest from the Bay Roskill Vikings, number 15. First game for Akarana for him this season. It's Garvey. Loped towards the line again. And a penalty goes against Canterbury, flopping on the tackled player rather. Now this is going to be interesting to see how they handle this one, the Bulls defence here, White.
Yes, indeed.
Full set 20 out. Garvey will set it up in midfield. Here's McCowie at dummy half. Tempest gets his hands on the ball. Throws himself into the line. Almost scores the try. Did he get it down? I reckon he got it down. Sean Tempest has scored a try with his first touch of the ball.
The big lanky, he's got long arms, Sean Tempest. He's come on the field, and his first hit up, he spun and wriggled his way all the way to the line, and then he reached out with his arms and put the ball down. So, fantastic effort by the forward who's just come onto the field. Be happy about that. You see, once again, got a one-on-one, shrug off, keep driving. Put your hands out and put the ball down, son.
That's it, Sean Tempest. Not often you see a Bay Roskill Vikings player in Akarana these days, in the Akarana rep team. Why? But there we are, and there he is, getting the try. Player's had some experience in Melbourne some years ago. And he's getting some good support by his teammates there. So Ledger with a very handy conversion attempt here to re-establish this 6-point lead for the visitors. So there it is, 12 points to 6 for Akarana. 2 tries to 1 in the game so far. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here of this round 3 NZRL Premiership match here from Napunawai in Christchurch. Falcons and Canterbury once again will meet in the grand final next week. I reckon there'll be a few team changes coming in both lineups for that game. Players like Dylan Hartley, Penatito Ilalio, George Fa'aiva and Zinzan Martin, I reckon will all come back in for Canterbury next week. Why? Give their team a little bit more bite in various areas. Here's the try scorer Tempest to restart play for Akarana. Inu at dummy half. Here's Vasu Valangi. Wrapped up by some keen Canterbury defence. Cowie at dummy half again. Nice hands from Price. Here's Garvey. Garvey trying to milk that penalty. It's not coming. Price. Got the first try, of course. Starting from the bench, the Attitude Roosters player these days. Here's Ledger with the kick to end the set. And that's straight down the throat there of Italani Poli, who starts the set on the 30. An okay set there by Akarana.
Yeah, good completion set. I mean, that's what Phil Gordon would have wanted. Score a try, get back to it, put a kick in, put some pressure on Canterbury back down in their own half.
Here's Collins, getting hit hard by Tempest, and also McCowie. Again, slow to play the ball, get that offensive line nice and set for Akarana. Here's the next ball carrier, this is Nati. Into the grinders penalty. Shifts it out to Thompson. This is Sauni who wins Sauni penalty.
Yeah.
Another penalty on Sauni.
Just a bit lazy there from James. Got caught wrong-footed. Caught him around the chin. Here's a good opportunity now for Canterbury to pull this lead back.
Yeah, and Sauni on the field wearing 17, 2 tries last week in that win over Counties for the Canterbury Bulls veteran player, penalty. Set it up, more penalties here for Canterbury. Again, they've got a full set inside the 20. Let's see if they can finish it off. Wawatai is on the field now. Ngati, nice hands from him. In fact, no, he has lost it. That's unfortunate for the Bulls.
Yeah, it was a good play. Once again, just ball playing forwards, working together. Just the execution was just a little off. He actually threw a no-look pass, and it's probably the reason why it was called forward in the end. I like these little opportunities created by Akarana.
Yeah, must have only just been forward.
You can go to Smoky Teas with the $50 and have a great thing. Yeah. Brisket burger.
So Akarana with this defensive set. Here comes Maynard playing in the centres. We still haven't seen White or Tamarua come back on in this game. So 2 injury concerns to Akarana in the first half of this contest. But Skinny on the bench now too, if those players don't come back. Here's James Tomata throwing himself into the line. Inu with dummy half this time. Here's Price. Good carry from Price. Good post-contact meters that time. Still trying to get that penalty. It's not coming though with Sean Tempest. Up towards the 10. Last play now for the Falcons. Inu running it on the last, are they? Here's Maynard looking to link up with Tomata. He's dropped the ball in the end. It is picked up nicely by Mohi, and Canterbury did well there.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of that ball in the end. Haley Maynard, he recognised that was 5th tackle. I don't mind the 5th tackle option of running and trying to catch the defence out, especially if the winger starts to drop back.
Here's a carry from Poli. It was Lecker, in fact. And now this is Thompson. Devon Thompson from Hornby Panthers. Wawatai dummy half. Little bit miscommunication with Sauni, but in the end, Sony did well there to create something. And the speed of the play was pretty handy as well. Out it comes to Tofalau. Tempest makes the tackle. Canterbury on the last now. Wawatai. There goes the kick from Jimmy Wihongi. This should be a little tester. And it's almost taken spectacularly by Fetu. And is the try going to be scored? And yes, referee Hope was going to give the try. I think Ngati has gone over to score the try for Canterbury.
It was a great contest in the air. It was a bit hard to see in real time, actually, how that ball came free or who knocked it on or who got a touch to it. But Canterbury were on the spot to collect it and go over, and I suppose without the ability of a third official, television official. Officials just our referees just have to see what they are given, and the big man goes over. That's Phil Ngati.
Well, Ngati's got the try. What a great kick from Wihongi.
Yeah,
it was on the money, wasn't it?
Fantastic kick, yeah.
So Ngati's going in to score the try and get his first try for the season. The veteran player. And so far, it's been not much in this game, actually. Both teams look pretty good with the ball in hand so far.
Great battle. It's a good little arm wrestle. Both teams, you can see both teams, they're trying to work each other out a little bit.
Well, Tamarua is still testing out that ankle on the sideline. You can tell he desperately his brain wants to get him back on there, but his body is not complying at the moment. So here's Lecker with this conversion attempt.
I think with the bigger picture in mind, she concede that it's worth resting it not really risking it throughout this game.
Oh, great conversion from Leka. And it is locked up again at 12 apiece. They were beautifully poised this game with about 7 minutes to play until half-time.
Collins Kamuhemu gets his boarding pass into the game. He's out there on number 8 now for Akarana.
Well, with Tamarua out and White out, as you well know with teams from your playing days, when you're down to 2 players on the interchange, it really changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure, especially on the middle. You know, Tamarua does a lot of work. He plays 80 minutes. But then you've got to find somebody else to sort of fill in that time.
Here's Nasi, the try scorer. Fired up after that score for his team. Good tackle there from Collins Kamuhemu. He'll slot into dummy half now with Makoe playing the first 34 minutes. Here's Penalty, the hard-working back rower for the Bulls. Co-captain with Samuelu Latu and Canterbury. Here's Thompson again. Just going to take the carry. Good tackle, slamming on his back, James Garvey. Very slow to get off that player Thompson, but referee Hopewell's going to allow play to continue. Here's Erwin Sauni. Looking to squeeze between defenders, did a good job there. Last tackle. It was a good carry, wasn't it? Back it goes. Oh, he's trying to get that spiral bomb going, isn't he? That Ivan Cleary special. What a tackle there on Jeremiah Portu. It was a really good chase.
Well, yeah, Portu hasn't seen a lot of the ball throughout this game. He was massive in the game against Waikato last week.
He sure was.
Good little bit of evasion there from the forwards, getting in behind the markers.
Here's Tomata again, the winger.
Does a great job, Tomata.
Yeah. Doesn't get the penalty. Referee's not giving penalties. Here's Collins Kamuhemu. Good little dart from dummy half from him. Fast play the ball too for Ledger. Ideal for him to cook something up on this right flank. Oh, don't know about that kick. In the end, it was nicely anticipated by Etty Collins. Oh, as he bumps off Maynard.
Bit of contact. That's how you run the ball back.
Collins plays the ball. Here's Tofalau. Tackled by Maynard and also Zinsai Inu. Here is Mohi off his wing. Met by a wall of blue jumpers on that occasion. Sauni. These old heads still know how to get the job done, don't they? Owen Sauni played in the 2014 grand final.
Really?
Yeah. Here he is 8 years later. Still doing the business.
There's no substitute for good hard running, as you see. Yeah. The play was on.
Was.
Samuel Latu tried to find his winger on the run. The execution was just a little bit off.
Here's Collins running into Maynard again. Of course, Maynard, an ex-Warriors jersey flag player alongside Brodie Tamarua a couple of years ago. Price, here is Maynard.
He's tough.
He's driven back strongly there. Here's Price. Price skipping out of a couple of tackles. Good charge by Joseph Price. Hard to handle. Important time of the game here with only 3 minutes left until half-time. Fatigue starting to set in. Let's see if Canterbury can still hold off these hard-charging Akarana players as Garvey gets inside the 10. Collins Kamuhemu. Inu. Yoka, and here's Ledger. Out to Chaz Brown. Hasn't seen much ball on this right flank so far, Chaz Brown, and he's lost it. And it is ruled a loose carry. Brown won't be happy with that.
Hadn't had much joy today, Chaz Brown. And on that right side, he's trying things. He just keeps coming up with errors. A couple of penalties. Here's the run by Price. Yeah, just shrugging off players. He'll find his groove, Jazz.
He's a good player, isn't he? Junior Warriors player from 2015-16.
8, 9, 10, 12.
Didn't play last week. Apparently he broke a nail.
Actually, he did play. He did play. Started at prop last week. Here's Sauni. Looking to get on the outside, and he's done brilliantly there, Erwin Sauni. Tomata comes back to make the tackle, as does Vasuvalangi. Good little run by Sauni. What an impact he's had off the interchange so far. A little loose carry. That's some very good D there from Solomon Vasuvalangi.
Yeah, ragdolled the hooker. And the ball came free. Oh, sorry, the standoff. There he is. Throwing him to the ground, and that ball just comes free.
Yeah, it's a big man on a little man. Most of the time, a big man's going to win. Why?
That's what you want to see, doesn't it? Yeah. These little guys, they get away with too much nowadays.
Ledger off the scrum. Akarana with 90 seconds to cook something up here. Canterbury's defence is going to be fully tested again here with Halalilo sitting there. James Garvey. Tackled by Thompson.
Takes so many to pull him down, big James Garvey.
Yeah, he's the 40 games, remember, for the Warriors in the NRL. Nice passing from Joseph Price. He's having a good game. Halalilo handles for the second time in the set. And there's a loose carry again. Oh, you've got to hand it to Canterbury's defence.
Yeah, indeed. Halalilo, I think he was just looking for an offload there. Could sense that he could get his arms free in the end. It was just too messy. Yeah, he just hung it out around the corner. He might have been looking for something.
It was always going to be hard. Ball security is going to be hard there for Halalilo. Once he shrugged his arm free.
A couple of tackles here for Canterbury just to finish off this half.
Well, really good half of football. With these two teams, nothing to split them. There's Mohi off his wing with that first carry. Here's Sauni again. And that will be the end of a first half, which has been excellent from both teams. Low error rate, 2 tries each, 2 good goals by both the goal kickers. And we can't be split at half-time in this contest here at Napunawai. I hope we're enjoying it. It is the Canterbury Bulls 12, Akarana Falcons 12. All right, thank you for joining us again. We've got the second half coming up in just a moment between the Bulls and the Falcons here at Napunawai and Christ. Just got a little chilly with a little sully sneaking up from the south. And but the action on the field's not been cold, Wairangi Korpu. It's been good so far. Good even match.
It's been hot, Glenn.
Yeah, well,
really
hot. You know, it's getting up there. It's getting up there, which is good. It's getting up there. But maybe one of these teams are going to get hot in the second half.
Yeah, indeed. It was a good little arm wrestle there in the first half with these teams feeling out process between them. Some good contact, some good wrestle. Both teams have been pushing our referee and pushing each other. I'm really interested to see what they learn out of this game, both sides, heading into next week's final.
Yeah, 2 tries each, Price and Tempest for Akarana, and Samuelu Latu and Nati for Canterbury. Both goal kickers have been on song 2 from 2, Ledger and Leka for Canterbury. A couple of injury problems which we've touched on in the first half for Akarana, 2 key players. And I can see Matthew White, you can just see him at the bottom of the shot there, got his right shoulder in a sling now.
Yep. Tamarua limped his way across the field as well, so I say he wouldn't take too much part in this game.
So second half underway, Akarana playing with the slight southerly in the second half, and here's the try scorer, Phil Nati, very experienced footballer coming forward here for Akarana, heavily experienced in Australia and France. And Thompson, good energy from him off the interchange from the number 15. Slow play the ball. Little hand on the face there. Play on is the call. And here's Samuelu Latu. He's been good. He was excellent last week too in Canterbury's win over Counties Manukau here on this very ground. It's Penalty. Towards the halfway. There goes the kick on the fifth tackle. Nicely in position, Isam Uwaka. And a good chase by the Bulls has this set. Starting on the 30. There is a good charge from Potu. Here's Gave. Gave, good run into the line there. Price. Head of the line. Joseph Price. Nice hands from Inu. It's looking good here until the drop ball there from Maynard. And Mohi chasing this through, but it's going to be a loose carry or a knock on there by the Akarana team, so it's going to be a handover.
Yeah, that little short side play there. Vasi Valangi was the one who was doing the ball playing. Not too sure whether he was trying to throw a no-look pass, but ended up hitting Hardy Maynard straight in the mush. Here it is again. Vasi Valangi straight into the chin.
With the carry for Canterbury. Samuelu Latu, good pass. This is Fetu. Oh, he's been thrown into touch. Love to pass though from Samuelu Latu. Good positive play from him.
Yes, indeed. Nice little ball over the top. And Potu wasn't too sure whether he'd have the pace to actually turn and chase. He definitely did.
Oh, yeah. He's got some pace, or Potu. He's a big man, isn't he, on that right wing side? Monster.
He's built like a prop.
He's got electric pace, as we saw from that first carry in the second half a moment ago. So Yoka hasn't really involved himself in the game too much so far from fullback, as Maynard takes the next carry for Akarana. There's Collins, Kamuhemu, now Price. He's been excellent in the game, hasn't he?
Loved his involvement, Price. Carries the ball really well in two hands. Good little bit of footwork.
Now Tempest. Here's a charge from Inu. Yoka involving himself. He's dropped the ball. He's from Yoka. His hands letting him down there again, the young fullback.
He was a rough one to take. It was a bit down around his hip for Yorker. No, he should have caught that. The fullback, definitely.
Yeah, well, he was so impressive earlier on in the year, wasn't he, in that under-20s competition, Wairangi?
Yeah,
we named him MVP of the competition, didn't we?
And he's been playing fantastic as well, to be honest. So, a few errors by the young kid in this game, but
yeah, he's he had an excellent season for Glenora.
Good prospect.
Yeah, definitely is. There's Mohi with the first carry. And Price, he's put his boot back on. Get back into the game. So no change since half-time. 12-all, 2 tries each. Wihongi. And here's a good carry from Collins. Here's Wihongi again. Kept the play going nicely there for the Canterbury Bulls. They brought it out there in pretty well here. In all fairness to them, Nati's now next up. Looking for a bit of space between those two defenders. Still tackles up their sleeve. There goes the kick there from Leka. Kick through. Leka almost through there again. And Taumata saves the day. Oh, a little knock-on's been ruled by referee Hopewell.
Yeah, it was a correct call to Yorker there. He just had to try and pick that up off his toes. But he was under a whole heap of pressure. Got maybe a little bit of deflection, but great little kick through. As you see come through. And Leka. That's good pressure for the Canterbury Bulls. It was a good little set there. I like how they're pushing up in numbers with each other. They might not be running off the back fence, their big forwards, but they've got players around them. It's just sort of keeping other defenders off, so giving an opportunity for one-on-ones or two-on-ones. And they're coming up with quick play the balls. And it's nice. It's good play.
Well, let's see what they've got. A full set of six inside the 20 here is Samuelu Latu. Well defended that time by Akarana. See Wihongi organising the team as they keep it out to the right. Penley runs on to the pass. Nothing flash from the Bulls early in the set. Just want to keep possession. Not make any silly errors. Wihongi. Same deal. Halfway through the set now. Ngati. Looking to twist, looking to turn. There's no gaps from this time. Wawatai. A nice little step from Leka. Last play now. Conservative set for the Bulls. Let's see what they can finish it with as Wihongi. Looks to change direction. Nicely taken by James Taumata. Back to the 20 comes James Taumata.
Oh, his feet must have been just inside the end goal. I actually thought he might have left from the field of play, but great refereeing. Darren Hopewell.
Now, not for the first time, Canterbury maybe not quite chancing their arm as they might have in that set. What do you think? Here's Poli.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the good thing is they're still building pressure. They may not be throwing caution into this southerly wind that's just picked up a little bit here in the second half, but now playing some good football nonetheless. Trouble here though.
Oh, Tamarua's back on. He's run off that ankle problem and straight away creates something for Gave. Up the centre. Now some big questions on Canterbury's defence. Here's Ledger cutting back nicely on the angled run, Halalilo. Bit of space here right near the line for Collins Kamuhemu. Last play now for Akarana. Ledger squeezes that kick and it's perfect. It's a perfect kick and over for another try is the front row of Vasuvalangi. And that makes the score 16-12.
He'll be happy with that, Sis. He hasn't kicked too well today. I mean, granted he is a centre, but he has a lot of skills. And well, he telegraphed this from a mile away, but Vasuvalangi was just good enough to be able to swoop on that ball, pick it up and go over for the third. The fullback just too far away. Good little angle there by Vasuvalangi.
There he is. He got 3 tries last week. Warangi against Waikato, and now another one here today for the Glenora Bears front row, and New Zealand Māori residence player from 2020.
Yep.
From Mapuhi and Hokianga.
But I keep trying to put them in positions. I know he's wearing 13, but he's probably playing on the edge. To be fair, I'm pretty sure Akarana, they're just playing in the forward pack are just all forwards. They don't actually even really have any positions.
Yeah, they can just play multiple roles, no doubt about it. So here's Francis Ledger, 2 from 2 in the game so far.
Still haven't seen big Patarika Vai back on the field, but I can see he's got off his chair. He might be going in for another stint.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be back, no doubt about it. So here's Ledger, nice and handy to the post for the 3rd time in a row, and over it goes. So 20 rather 18 points to 12 now for Akarana here at Napunawai. I hope you're enjoying the coverage. We've got just under half an hour to go in this contest. And will we see this pattern that we've had play out twice in the game so far? Can Canterbury come back? And lock up the scores again. Yoka is going to give it to James Garvey. Potu getting in position for this next carry. Here he comes, the big winger. Oh. He's an excitement machine.
Yeah, no thanks.
Collins Kamuhemu, this is Sean Tempest. So Tamarua out there, but still limping, it has to be said. But keen to contribute as he gets his hands on the ball now. Ledger with the kick. He's found some space too behind Fetu. Oh, is that a knock on with Poli? Ooh. Yes, offside play. Just a little bit of miscommunication between the 1 and the 2 there for Canterbury.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if there was any real reason for him to pick that ball up.
Right there, yep, that's where the error is. And right away, Akarana are getting close here. For what could be a vital score in the game, Tamarua marshalling back Ave on the inside, but in the end, he just takes the carry himself.
He's definitely not 100, Tamarua.
He definitely isn't. Collins Kamuhemu is driving over from dummy half here. But he's not going to get it down. And he's still in the field of play. Ledger. Tamarua. And again, the gap shut very fast for Brodie Tamarua. Late offload here, Gove. And that's the try. And again, Brodie Tamarua might not be 100%, but that's what he can do, the late offload. And James Gove gets the try.
Yeah, he's so threatening. Time he gets the ball. He's got good ball skills for a back rower. Good footwork. He's got a lot of size on him as well. And this time he just wriggles his arms free, passes it back to another big body. And
17 for 3.
Garvey. Yeah, once again, little footwork. Not strong enough to hold on. Good little offload there on the back of it. Just not ready for the big man to come over and put the ball down.
Well, great work from Tamarua. Call that a try assist in the sport. Garvey there. Of course, after the Warriors, he left the club and went off to play in England. Of course, he played for Samoa at international level as well. 80 NRL games, easily the most experienced at the top level of this. Any player out there.
Yeah, I think Broncos before.
Yeah.
He was at the Warriors.
Bulldogs, Tigers too. He spent time at both those clubs. Here's Ledger, whose all 4 kicks have been very, very handy today. And Akarana now enjoy a 12-point lead in this game, having scored 2 tries now in the second half, 24-12.
Yeah, apparently the point share pharmacy has run out of tape because Francis Ledger has used it all.
And it's not a small pharmacy either.
It's a chemist warehouse. So, let's see if Canterbury has the motivation or the energy to get back into this one, knowing the task they got in their hands next week as well.
They've got some firepower to come back through for Ivor, who's not playing today, their front rower. Lelio, who we know is a very good winger. Dylan Hartley, a very good organising half, is missing today. And Zinzan Martin in the centres.
I've been really impressed with Samuelu Latu.
Yes.
The co-captain. Also big Nati, who went over and scored a try as well himself.
Garve, that was a great run, and here they are lining up as Halalilo hits the line. Nice and hard here, Nicholas Halalilo. That is just about the try of the tournament so far. What a tremendous score that is. Give him a bonus point.
Yeah, great run. Great run by the back rower. Just on the back of momentum. And three will get another look at it, but just a nice quick play of the ball. And he left a couple of players. Look, James Gavay there's got two people behind him. The markers went straight. Oh, they were backing up. That was Wihongi. He couldn't make the tackle. Halalilo had too much pace for Bowley.
Well, listen, the experienced player, New South Wales Cup player for the Warriors from 2 years ago. He was all set to have a good year for them that year. Then COVID cut that out, of course. Real bummer for Nicholas Halalilo, but who knows? He might get a chance again next year with that team being, of course, salvaged from the ashes. And it's worth mentioning again, I know we've touched on this a few times through these games this month. Why is that there are probably possibilities for these players next season, because you need some domestic players to fill out your squad.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, great opportunity for some of these guys. I mean, despite the interruptions and hassles of COVID, one of the biggest positives for me is seeing a lot of these players sort of coming home, being close to their families, and then playing in these competitions, in particular the Fox Memorial up in Auckland as well. Like, the domestic competitions have been stronger for it. So, while that's been one of the positives that have come out of our disruptive time, the opportunities for them to go on to push for high representative honours and potential careers, it's great for our game.
Well, it is a great second half for Akarana. 3 tries in 18 minutes now. They've really kicked clear of Canterbury. The Tempest carries it back, and of course we think back to that first half, why we've got a lot of penalties against Akarana. And once they shrug that area of their game, improve that area of the game, they've been playing a lot better.
Yeah, they cleaned that up. I'm sure Phil would have given the message to keep their hands away from the ball, because a lot of those penalties were for strips and the like. So
here's Halalilo again. This time the angled run behind the ruck.
Just tangled up there.
He's a handful, isn't he? Here we go. There goes Collins Kamuhemu, and now Tamarua. He's got that ability, isn't he, to just shrug through and find a little bit more when he engages the defenders. Here's Ledger's kick. Bouncing here for Mohi. He's back into it here for Canterbury, but they're at the wrong end of the field here. Haven't really had any field position in the second half, the Bulls, have they?
Yeah, barely had any ball for the last 10 minutes or so.
Some good defence coming in from Akarana too. Halalilo again involving himself nicely there, the number 12. There's Eti Collins. Oh, he's lost it. That just looks like a loose carry, and it is.
Yeah, so despite not having the ball for a long time, they've come up with an error.
Yeah, no strip ruled here by the officials.
Yeah, I think that's right too.
Ledger feeding the scrum. I'm sure we'll be back at home in the centres next week. And Aidan Ackland. Here's Chaz Brown. Hasn't really had a chance to impose himself on the game today. A couple of brilliant tries by him in that win over Counties Manukau in round 1. One that went 60 metres. He's an excitement machine when he gets going too. There's Garve, who's really coming into the game nicely, isn't he? Tamarua, here's that ball playing back. Skills, Vasu Valangi going close. In fact, he's not close, he's there. Another try. Good injection of play. And things have really happened since Tamarua has come back into the game. It's a fourth try in the second half.
Yes, stamped their authority in the last 10, 15 minutes of Akarana. Starting to roll forward now. You can see the confidence within the squad. This is great structure, great setup. Once again, Brody Tamarua playing out the back, going to the face of the D line there. Some nice ball. Nice pass to Vasu Valangi. Crosses over. Was that his second?
It's the second try of the game. Yeah, second try of the second half. And some nice play there from Tamarua and Inu. That's the point share Pirates connection coming to fruition there. Vasu Valangi's really enjoying himself out there. Can't get the smile off his face. He scored 5 tries in
2 games.
In 2 games. Not too shabby. Well, wow, they've really blitzed them. They're scoring pretty much a point a minute in the second half. Why? As well, Akarana. It was 12 all at half time.
Yeah, Canterbury. They don't want to get away. They don't want this game to get away from too much. They still want to try and impose themselves quite a bit. Just to leave Akarana with something to think about for next week.
Ledger successful with that kick. He's 5 from 6 in the game now. And it is 34 points to 12 with 18 to play. So yes, exactly a point a minute in the second half for Akarana. They have come out with fire and brimstone in the second half. Wihongi tries again. And it's a rinse and repeat. Here comes Sean Tempest. Got a try in the first half, of course.
Oh.
Vasu Valangi on this left flank again. Oh, that was threatening, wasn't it? Couldn't quite link up with his Glenora Bears teammate, James Taumata. Vasu Valangi, I don't know how he hung on to that ball, but he did.
That was a good play. They were lining up on the left-hand side, Canterbury Bulls, and they went down the short side. And Vasu Valangi causing havoc out there now.
He is. He's playing wide of the ruck there, and he's enjoying his time. Looks like he's actually playing centre, left centre at the moment, out on that left side.
So too.
Yeah. Maynard moving back into the second row. Collins, Kamuhemu, here's Halalilo.
Pat Vaivai on now. That was just around the shoulder.
So no penalty given, even though Halalilo's looking for it.
Might get another look at it.
Well, Blade Collins Kamuhemu is just mystified there. You can see the replacement dummy half, and now the officials are going to have a chat. It's Tachi Harvey and Darren Hopewell. I reckon you're right. Why? It's just nothing in that. I think the officials got that spot on, actually. Again, nothing much in that one, really. Oh, they are changing their decision, so it is a penalty. So more possession and territory coming up here for the Falcons. As Ledger starts it up with Vaivai. They're on him in a flash this time, Pat Vaivai. There goes Collins Kamuhemu, sneaking out at dummy half, getting to within 5 metres of the line. Vaivai's playing dummy half this time. Ledger, good hands from him off the pass. Inu, nice shift. Here's Maynard, and it's Taumata for the corner. And James Taumata has scored another one for Akarana. And it's 38 points to 12. The scoring blitz in the second half rolls on.
Yeah, they had to work a little bit harder for this one, but good shift to the ball, Akarana. It's in after a couple of nice, powerful runs. The Akarana forwards and Francis Ledger back on the inside. He spotted an opportunity to the left-hand side. Canterbury had already started retreating, and then they were backpedaling after that. Maynard summed it up well. Got it as a way to his winger who crossed over for his first try of the game.
Yeah, James Tomata in his first game for Akarana this campaign gets over the line to score. And 38 points to 12. Wow, what a second half this is by the visitors. Setting themselves up for the grand final next week beautifully at the moment. Imposing themselves.
Yeah, and you'd imagine that maybe Canterbury's already got their minds on next week now. We'll let this one get away. Pick ourselves up again for next week.
Did you see Francis Ledger there try and sneak about 5 metres in field for the conversion? Bowden Barrett did that a couple of years ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
Got away with it from memory, but Ledger not today. So Ledger's hardest kick of the afternoon. And it's not successful. So 38 points to 12. It remains with 14 minutes to play here at Napunawai. Don't forget, we'll be at North Harbour Stadium for the final of the NZRL Premiership next weekend. Looking forward to bringing that game to you next Saturday at 2 o'clock. So we'll be at North Harbour Stadium for that one as Wihongi restarts play for Canterbury. And here's Vasuvalangi immediately creating havoc on that left flank as Vasuvalangi. What a return of the ball here.
He channeled us in a centre then.
Started in the front row, playing in the centres, and Akarana come forward again. They're over halfway after just 2 tackles. They're over the 10 now in Canterbury territory.
Looking to try and... Akarana really looking to try and break Canterbury now.
Tempest comes forward now for Akarana. Here's Tamarua, big line-up of players out to the right. Short ball this time to Pat Vaivai. He's lost it. Yeah, it was a great tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a cutting tackle right down around the quads. That
was from the fullback, actually. Italani Poli. It's by the 14. It was our man, Danny Samuelu-Latu. Again, the co-captain.
Chopped down the big man.
Here's Collins off the scrum. Canterbury looking to finish the game with something. Been a very disappointing second half for them. After a wonderful first half where it was dead even between these two teams. Samuelu-Latu. Cyrus Timo-Latu is back out there now, as is Afasamanga. And another dangerous tackle has been ruled, so it's a penalty against Akarana. Vaivai being penalised that time. Oh, this might give Canterbury the opportunity to at least get something out of the second half here, White. Here's Tuli.
Yeah, they've been really limited in opportunities, but to be fair, Akarana have just scored back-to-back for the last sort of 10 minutes, so it's hard to score a try when you don't have the ball.
Yeah, Wihongi. He worked away pretty well in the halves today for Canterbury. Dylan Hartley will come back next week, though. You would think into that half-back role. Samuelu Latu getting it mixed up here with Collins, and Tamarua has jumped on it for Akarana. And now Yoka hit hard.
That was up from the song.
Yeah. He smacked Yoka. But he bounced out. He's a big lad for 20. He's had a quiet game. He got 3 tries last week. Potu on this right wing side for Akarana. Now Price.
Yeah, hasn't actually been a lot of need for our wingers today. The big boys in the middle are doing the job.
Absolutely. Tamarua. Nice pass from Inu. Maynard runs onto that one nicely. Harley Maynard. Oh, he's lost the ball. Ball security again. An issue there on that occasion for Harley Maynard. So Canterbury will get another chance here. Just under 10 to play. This is Mohi. Now Poli sneaking around the ruck. Here's Erwin Sauni. He's hit hard by Zinsai Inu. Number 16 for Akarana. Maynard completes the tackle. Good hands from Leka. Here's Wihongi. And Samuelu Latu sizes up the opportunity, just keeps it simple for Collins on the cutback. Wihongi keeps it on the short side. There's Samuelu Latu chasing through Christian Fetu. Good kick, that one. Perfect kick. Weight was spot on. It's a line dropout.
He's got some skill, the co-captain. Samuelu Latu. I think he's still playing back row, but he's doing a fantastic job out there, trying to carry his team home.
He's got something about him, hasn't he? The number 14 here. Good player. First line drop out of the game. Lecha just finds Wihongi. And Fetu with the carry. Yeah, you're right, it's been a quiet day for the wingers, hasn't it? Oh, Fetu's dropped the ball there. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he was just in a bit of a hurry there. Was the winger. Trying to fight to play the ball fast and comes up with an error. He was a little bit disappointed in himself. First tackle.
Yeah, disappointed. Wanders back into position. Tamaru off the scrum. Here's Ledger. Sueli Makawi back out there to finish the game as Pat Vaivai takes another carry for Akarana. He's a tough customer, isn't he? Right on the halfway now. Tomata.
He's got a big voice, Pat Vaivai.
Makawi rolls away on the left side again. Harley Maynard. James Garvey checks back into the game for the last 6.5 minutes. He's a strong game as well as Tamarua. A little short ball to Joseph Price. These big middle forwards that Akarana have got, Tamarua, Price, Garvey, all having terrific games. Vaivai, there goes the kick from Ledger. Chaz Brown's on it. And Chaz Brown's going in to score a try. Hardly touched the ball in the game, Chaz Brown, but he's got a 4-pointer.
Yeah, he's played the game in a dinner suit today, Chaz Brown. He still comes up with a try. But yeah, nice kick, well-weighted kick. Put a lot of pressure on the winger out there for Canterbury. It just came up with the error. And Chaz, he picks up, he gets his name on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he got a double in that first round win over Counties Manukau. But he was in exactly the right spot to pick up the loose ball there.
Yeah, indeed. All that dyeing of the hair wasn't for nothing today.
There is the imposing centre, Chaz Brown, third try of the competition. And Akarana, a lot of smiles and laughter out there now. They're really enjoying themselves.
Yeah, they really turned it on in the second half. They started with a lot more energy.
Well, they've outscored Canterbury in the second half. Why, 30-0. Quite a second half by Akarana.
Yeah, they just starved Canterbury of, well, one, opportunities, and that they haven't given away nearly as many penalties, nearly as many errors in the second half, and then also on the back of it played some really good rugby league. Put a lot of pressure on Canterbury, and they just haven't been able to sustain that level of energy that they had in the first half, the Bulls.
And Ledger with, again, a simple conversion attempt which goes over. So Ledger has now kicked 6 from 8 in the game. And it's 44 points to 12. 6 tries in the second half, 8 in all for Akarana. And they really have made a statement in the second 40, no question about it. In a tough 40 minutes here for the Canterbury Bulls. He's still not lacking effort. There's McCowie running from dummy half, pinching again, 10 metres. Tomata sneaking through a couple of tackles. Great run by the winger. Maybe time for another try yet with 3.5 to play. Inu. It's Tamarua. Joseph Price standing wide of the ruck this time and finding holes now. Big holes for Canterbury in their defence. Tamarua again. Here's Ledger. Front foot running ball for him. Chases through and it's back in the hands of Brodie Tamarua. And it's Tamarua who goes over to score the try. Well, a bit fortuitous, but another 4-pointer, nonetheless, for Akarana.
Yeah, Francis Ledger, he was playing tag just then. Little kick through the line, try to regather. The fullback comes up with an error. Tamarua comes up with the ball. Didn't have too far to go, but had enough pace to get there. Here it is once again, Francis Ledger. Just had a look, big wall in front of him. Just going to dab it through. Bowley had to come forward and was just too hard for the fullback to try and take cleanly. Tamarua's ankle holds up well enough to get him to the line.
Yeah, he's basically been playing on one leg all the way through as Ledger converts to try, brings up the 50 for Akarana, who have scored 38 unanswered points in the second half. Extraordinary performance by them.
Well, they'll be stronger for it next week, Canterbury.
Yep.
They would have known coming into this game that they would have. They're going to have to play 80 minutes to try and win this game, let alone next week's final. So, yeah, it's going to be a big effort needed from them next week.
Absolutely. Gave with the restart, and here comes Price again. Really, no one in the Akarana team has had a bad game today. Tamarua plays dummy half this time. really have put out an imposing second half performance as Ledger unleashes on the left flank again for Inu. Here's Gave. Bit of showtime coming now from Price. Isam Yuaka. McCoey. Ledger. Oh, Price has dropped the ball that time. It's play on. Canterbury have got the ball back. Maybe one last opportunity for them in the second half. And McCoey's just given up the penalty there. I don't know what he was thinking on that occasion. Let's see what Canterbury can do in this last play of the game here. Afamasama is taken, and that's that in the second half. A fantastic second half after a really close first half, which finished 12-all. But Akarana, with 38 unanswered points, have absolutely blown away Canterbury with 7 tries in the second half to catapult to a very big win indeed by 50 points to 12.